to go.
Okay. So my name is Uttam Sharma, and I'm a representative with Hardy Stones. I actually run the location out of Edmonton, and today I'm going to talk. I'll talk about the organization itself, but I'll also, more importantly, talk about our exclusive ownership of Stone for Western Canada, and we can go through some of the reasons why Stone is a good fit for LEED or very green type applications. So the company itself, now keeping in mind that I was actually hoping to have a representative out of Stone to come and talk, unfortunately he was not able to make it in, so I'm not the expert in any of this, there's some questions they can probably answer, but there's a lot of stuff that we can take some notes and I can get answers for you afterwards. But in essence, the company itself, I actually visited them. They're based out of New York City, very conscious about the environment, about the society, about how they develop their products, and their founding principles are people, planet, and profit. And the reason they keep profit in there as well, because when I went to go visit with them, is that if they're not sustainable, they can't make it work for the future either, right? So they have to make sure they're profitable so they can be around for years to come. The company itself is a green facility, 55,000 square feet. It uses day lighting, so it minimizes the amount of usage of light during the daytime as well. They're very conscious about everything. 50% is wind power, solar-based lubricants, recyclables, 85% is of the manufactured water. And they strive to zero waste. Even their, what they call cradle to cradle, is even their waste, a lot of their wastage product goes into refill towards roads, road infrastructure. Let's talk a little bit about the product. So the key facts of the product, they're casted in slabs. You've got I don't think this thing will work on this one, but you've got a width and a thickness and a length. They come in 1.25 inches. They don't come in 3/4 inch, just because of the strength needed for concrete, because it is a pretty brittle material. And it's pretty well twice the strength of a marble and available in 21 different colors. Important thing about the product is that in the US, so for Canada it'd be about 5 to 7 LEED points that can be gained for people that are trying to do buildings or any commercial or even personal things. As far as getting LEED points for the province, and I know it's becoming more of a conscious effort for the province to go more into green products, the LEED points are very important for builders and contractors. And it kind of goes through the areas why it has the 7 points of LEED. There's 3 kind of third parties that they've associated with that they felt were the most important to not only judge themselves, but also have kind of a bar which they can go out there and live up to, as far as trying to maintain a green product. Well, it's going to go through these really quickly. The first one is they're the first company of solid surfaces to actually achieve gold certification for this company itself. There's a silver certification can be done pretty. It takes a little bit of an effort to get there, but gold is almost twice the effort to get there. If we're even going from a silver certification, it has this company or this organization has the most stringent environmentally standard in the world, with no VOC content, recycling, reuse, non-toxic pigments, and just overall social responsibility. Get a question?
Yeah, just the cradle to cradle. So when the product is done with, how do you recycle it?
It actually can go back and use as road fill.
No, I mean if it's been installed in your house,
yeah,
and the product, and you're done with the product after 20 years,
yeah,
is that not part of the recycling process?
Yeah, so they can actually, I'm not sure exactly how they do this, but the product itself is made in such a way where it can actually be utilized somewhere in society. So that's what it means by cradle. So it's actually, a lot of times what will happen, you'll have these products that once it's done, it goes into landfill, which is cradle to grave. Cradle means it's actually used somewhere else. and this is what they're meaning of using somewhere else.
Yeah. So I think the application you mentioned was after, say, a consumer is done with the product,
Yeah.
right, it can go back into road infrastructure.
That's where it's normally used,
Yeah.
is they break it up and they use it back into pavements and road. So there's a lot of bullets on this one, so I'm not going to go through everything here. But it really, what the cradle certification applies to is, you know, it applies to products and does not apply to people, okay? Businesses, buildings, or process. There is 4 levels of certification, and so getting to a platinum level is very extensive. And iStone is trying to achieve this platinum level, and they're hoping to do it maybe within a year or so. But to get to that level, there's not very many companies that are at that level. And for this type of product, it's very, very difficult, but they're trying to achieve that level. And it kind of gives you an idea of how the products are evaluated. And there's also merits given for innovation of design credit as well, and that goes towards the LEED credit points. But I think the important thing to note right here is that the gold level materials are weighted twice as much as the silver level materials. So in other words, to get to a silver certification, right, you'll get a certain amount of points, but the gold level will be double of that.
Is that the same of the other levels? Is silver twice basic and is platinum twice gold?
No, I don't think it's quite to that level, but in this case it is because there's such a big difference. Pretty well what happened, and this is mainly because of the US, no one could really reach the gold level, so they actually had to bring down the silver level to a certain level where people were, because they were complaining of the cost, it'd be just too much, it just wouldn't make sense. This is why people think that, oh, if it's a green product, it's a reusable material, it's got to be cheap. It's a reused material. It's not that case. Not especially for green, it's not that case. It's actually, there's a cost adder to it because they have to be so conscious about making sure they fit all the needs of being LEED.
Yeah. And I've read that most of that is, again, on the disposal, right? So on the, what would have been considered a grave process, right?
Yeah.
So it's the sustainability after the product.
Even when I was there, I just looked at how they did the recycling of their water. All the water was vatted into these channels. Just to, like, they had to rip up the whole floor, recreate these huge massive channels for all the water, so it's not even wastage of water. It goes into it and it gets filtered into this very extensive filtering system, right? It's a massive little unit. So just that unit itself and how they recycle the water was just very impressive, right? And it had to be a huge cost associated with it too.
See, and from a North American perspective, so that's so shocking to us, right? That we reuse all this water. But if you go to any facility like in Asia, so for example, my family members own a pottery ceramic facility out in Vietnam, and they reuse all of their water, and the facilities are developed like this from day one, and they've been doing that since, I think, the 1960s.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's amazing, just, again, the paradigm shift for us.
Yeah.
When you don't have it, you're always looking
Yeah.
for ways to
Exactly.
recycle it. When you do, it's the last thing on your mind.
So the other corporation they followed and they wanted to make sure they get certified with was the B Corporation. And they kind of headed on 3 points: leadership, employee, and community. So these are kind of the things that the B certification was important to them. So they know that they're taking good care of their own employees. They're doing from a leadership thing, doing all the right things as an organization, and from a community standpoint, doing all the right things as well. The third party that they wanted to make sure that they conformed to was the NSA. So this is kind of important, especially when you're going into any sort of food environment. So that's why they're able to have these type of things in various food locations as well. Their products.
Are you gonna, on that point, Udom, are you gonna go through, so in the food service industry and the retail industry, anything to do with, the resin that's applied on iStone afterwards? So anything that's finishing or a coating on?
Yeah, so that's a good point. Actually, the finishing that goes on the product itself to make sure it maintains. Like a lot of times when you have other materials, they'll put some sort of sealer or something to close, and especially being concrete, you need to be able to close it because it's very porous material. So what they've done is they have a very green product where they, even to use it, and they use more like a wax, a natural wax, and a sealing agent that is also green. So they've gone to even the display stand that they have is all recyclable material, and we've got a pretty impressive display stand. So every little thing, even if you look at the brochures and some of the stuff that they take out, they actually try to go more and more green in every aspect. So even their booklets are made from recyclable paper and everything else. These are just some areas where they've actually had their product installed, but it goes from various different areas, from office, education, U.S. government. They're actually a member of the U.S. government Green Building Society Council as well, and all these different areas.
At that point, we should have a discussion with Ron to get on the Canadian Green Building Council.
Yeah.
Right, because I don't think that discussion's been had yet, so.
So that's something we can look into. Another thing for...
Did you get the email about that? About the AGMs coming up?
So I haven't known, and that's something I
I
should
think
follow.
it's this month,
Is it?
next week.
I think it's next week, yeah.
Okay.
So that'd be a great place to start. And they're
Yeah.
having a bit of a mixer. They're touring this house and they're getting together at the sports bar over here
Okay.
after the AGM.
Oh, okay.
next week, so.
Would you mind sending, if you got that in an email,
I will.
would you send that? Thank you.
So, one of the other things that are very